I'm just wondering why I don't see my picture ever. I don't see my face.
Oh, well, it might be the grid, how the grid is presenting when we have more than 9 or 10 people.
It was fine for, I've been doing all kinds of Zooms and I was fine. It's just this one, the last one I did too was the same thing. You can't see my face.
Oh, how weird.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I'm going to sign
You
off
need
my
to
phone
see
and
your
go
lovely
ahead.
face.
I know.
So I'm just starting, I'll get the setup here. 1 second, please. We're at 1503, 1703, pardon me, 503 I meant. So has anyone been to Ireland before? Besides Liz?
No, haven't been.
No,
It's next on my list.
Is that right?
Good boy. Love that. Yes.
Does anyone have Irish heritage besides myself?
oh yes.
Where's Kathleen?
Oh, of course.
Other side.
Yeah, Elizabeth and I just figured out we're related.
And our ancestors came from Ireland.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Even though we have I have a Welsh last name.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, you mean Pritchard?
Yes, we're related through the Pritchards.
Yeah, Pritchard. Apparently, it's derived from the Welsh "a Pritchard."
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, meaning
Oh,
son
neat.
of Pritchard, son of Richard.
Well, how
Yeah.
neat is that? Well, welcome everyone. This is Sheila Gallant-Halloran with Lush Life Travel. As you know, welcome to my continuing series. If you could only take one trip. Unfortunately, the world has stopped moving in 2020 and we're all looking forward to when we can start moving again. And of course, I like to say you're saving money on travel for 2020. So 2021, it'll be the time to do the bucket list trip and you'll have twice the budget, right? Pleased to welcome Liz Scanlon from CIE Tours. And we're going to talk about Ireland, but Liz is going to give us a little taste of some of the other things CIE Tours does as well. But Ireland is their focus. And Liz, I'm sure you probably have a slide that talks about the history of the name and the ownership. If not, I'm sure you can speak to that because it's interesting for folks.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. And just so folks know, this is just a reminder, this is, I think, the 26th edition. So if you want to see other recordings, recently I've hosted Natural Habitat, Mikado Safaris, Uniworld River Cruises, Rocky Mountaineer, Air Canada Vacations, G Adventures, and today CIE Tours. Next week I will have CamLink, who will talk to us about their hotel and villas. I have a number of clients who are interested in villas right now, so we'll share some information from their hotel representation side and how to stay healthy and safe when you're traveling. And of course, Liz is going to tell us how to do that in Ireland today. So does anyone have any opening questions or comments they'd like to make before I turn it over to Liz? No? Okay, Liz, with that, we'll turn it over to you. We both have Irish backgrounds here today as our Zoom background, so we'll get all inspired about Ireland. And Liz, thank you very much. So over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sheila. And thank you for inviting me. This is such a treat to be here with you all today. And I commend Sheila for, hosting these events, because I really think, travel is certainly a wonderful thing for anyone and everyone of all ages to do. And it's just, we learn so much from traveling to different countries. And kudos to you, Sheila, for some of the recorded webinars that you've already had up there, as well as some that you have coming down the line there. And thank you to all of you as well for joining. So yes, Sheila mentioned in the background our both her and my background photos that you see. Sheila's got the Cliffs, which are located up in Northern Ireland. Well, actually, we're both kind of up in Northern Ireland. You're up in the Donegal area, the northwest coast, and I'm really up in the northern part along the Antrim coast. Sheila has the Sleeve Cliffs, which are considered to be the highest throughout all of Europe, actually. Beautiful, beautiful area to go to and visit. We Sleeve League on some of our itineraries, on our guided vacations. And what you see in is the Giant's Causeway. And these are actually, you can't really tell from my picture, but hexagonal basalt columns, which you can actually, they jet out into the ocean. You can actually walk on these. So again, stunning, stunning areas that we've chosen for our backgrounds. But I want to wish you all a very warm Céad Mille Fáilte, which translates, it's Gaelic and translates into 100,000 welcomes. And the Irish certainly are known for their warm hospitality. So you are in for a treat if you are traveling or planning on traveling to Ireland. So hopefully I'll get you all excited about putting it on your bucket list if it's not there already. One thing to note, we do have our new 2021 brochure out in the marketplace. So certainly if anybody wants to request that, if you want to give Sheila a shout, I can always order one to be sent to you. We do have a Canadian version, I'm happy to say, with Canadian prices. So definitely you may want to check that out at some point. Now, just to give you a little history about CIE Tours, we've been in business since 1932, and we are an Irish company, and we have offices. Our operations team is actually located in Dublin, Ireland. That's where our parent company is. Now, CIE does stand for something. Many people have asked me over the years if it does, and it certainly does. As you can see at the bottom of the screen there, it's Gaelic and it translates into Chorus Umper Éireann, which means Ireland's National Transport Company. So what that means is that CIE Tours, my parent company in Dublin, is responsible for the public buses and trains that run throughout the country of Ireland. And in essence, what that means is we are part of the Irish government. So I like to share that with you because, you know, CIE Tours, Ireland is our destination. We'll offer a few other countries as well in our, you know, what we offer, you'll see in a moment in a couple of slides. But we are the largest tour operator to Ireland based on, we fill the most number of beds in the hotels that we're traveling to. So again, CIE Tours, an Irish company, and again, the premier tour operator to Ireland is what I would say. But I'd like to tell you the fact that we are part of the Irish government. We are a financially stable company. So definitely something that I really wanted to share with you tonight. This is one of our jolly travel directors, tour directors over in Ireland. You know, they're absolutely phenomenal. I'll talk about them in a moment. But again, we'll be celebrating our 89th anniversary beginning in 2021. And one thing to note, I'll talk about it a little bit further on another slide shortly, but we don't, on our guided vacations, we include all of the attractions, all of the sightseeing. So when you look at the itineraries that we offer, you know, when we say that we're traveling to whether it's the Cliffs of Moher or, you know, the Giant's Causeway or going to Trinity College to see the Book of Kells, those are all included. Those are attractions that are all included. We don't sell any optional excursions when you're at the destination. So our guides truly are focused on, you know, imparting their knowledge about the country with you and not wasting time and selling optional excursions. I'm also happy to tell you that when you are traveling with us, our guides, they're all local to the destination. So if you're traveling in Ireland, it is indeed, you know, a tour director that's taking you around, giving you the commentary, you know, of the country that they live in. Same thing with the local guide. If we're doing a, you know, a walking tour, it's a local guide that's taking you around. We've served over 3 million travelers, and we also have a customer satisfaction rating of 95%. And that's based on the post-tour questionnaires that we do distribute to our guests the day before you're going to leave the destination. And you're rating basically, you know, the tour directors, the local guides, hotels, the meals, the attractions. So we do take, you know, what you have to say very seriously. If we see something happening where we think we'll do that. I already mentioned the locations where we have our offices. I report to Morristown, New Jersey in the United States. I actually reside in New Hampshire, and but we also have offices in London as well as Edinburgh. Okay, and we are members of various travel associations. That's actually how I met Sheila, was recently at an ACTA conference, which is an organization of Canadian travel agents. So delighted to make that connection with her. Because folks, I need to tell you as well, and I'm sure you all realize this with attending Sheila's, Zoom meetings and so forth. I think it's very important in this day and age to work with the travel agent. These are your go-to people. It's like having that best hairdresser that you make sure you make your appointments all the time. Our travel agents or travel advisors, they're extremely knowledgeable. Sheila's already done a lot of meetings with the companies that she works with, so she knows all the nuances of what we're offering. She knows our deals that we have out there, any promotions. She associates herself with the companies that she wants to work with that are reputable companies. So again, work with your travel agent. They are your best friend, trust me. So again, I mentioned we are the premier tour operator for Ireland, but we do offer a few other countries as well. So again, we've been offering Scotland, England, and Wales since 1932 also. And then we started offering the past 2 years, a couple of other destinations, Iceland and Italy. And honestly, these two were introduced really for our past guests. So, if none of you have traveled to Ireland yet, most likely, well, maybe you travel with us to the UK, I'm not sure, but maybe you haven't traveled with us yet. But the beauty is that these are the only destinations that CIE offers. We put them together ourselves, the itineraries for guided vacations. We have a few other options that I'm going to talk about in a moment of ways that you can travel with us. But we don't want to be a company that's all things to all people. So we really have this niche market, this niche focus on the destinations that we're focusing on. So here is really, kind of what we're offering in the way of, I broke it out by country and I broke it out by the number of itineraries that we offer for our guided vacations. So, with COVID, with the pandemic hitting, I'm sorry to say that the total number of itineraries is drastically reduced to 34. Pre-COVID, we were offering over 60 different itineraries for guided vacations for Ireland, the UK, Iceland, and Italy. But again, the realization of, travel will resume, definitely. I've been in the industry for 38 years, and we have always hit, our challenges over the, past number of years with, 9/11, with the financial crisis. There's something that always seems to be popping up, but we do reemerge, we reemerge stronger than ever, I think. So, we're taking it slowly with reemerging back into, travel starting up again. We still will be one of the tour operators with the largest number of itineraries for Ireland with a total of 17. But in the past, trust me, we had about 34 different itineraries just for Ireland alone. But I just wanted you to be aware of what we will be offering going forward for 2021. Obviously, travel is shut down for us right now. We do hope to resume. We're thinking, we thought it was going to be maybe in March and April, but we're feeling that that may not be realistic. We're hoping for May now at this point. It all depends. I mean, we've gotten some good news in the past couple of days with the vaccines that are supposed to be coming out, and the hope that, once that does start coming out, that travel will start to pick up. So we're taking it one day at a time. So I did mention to you as well the local guides and tour directors that we have when you're on tour with us. Again, these folks are passionate about what they do. We have many tour directors that have been with us for 20 years or longer. And they love to welcome you to their country. They love to impart knowledge about the history and the culture and the people. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. We get, my goodness, I said we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating, but I have to tell you, our tour directors and local guides they're consistently hitting 100%. And we have guests that want to travel with those same guides again and again, and they'll request them. It's obviously a request we can't guarantee. But anyway, they're fantastic guides that are traveling with you. So a little bit more information on the country of Ireland. So, it's broken out into regions. The Emerald Isle is just absolutely fantastic. It's not a very large country. I don't know what size I'd equate it to with a province in Canada. I know in the States, I would equate it to the size of Maine or South Carolina, if any of you are familiar. But just to give you an idea, to travel from Dublin on the East Coast to Galway on the West Coast, if you were to travel and not stop at all, you'd be looking at probably about 2 hours and 45 minutes to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. To get from Dublin up to Belfast, you're looking at approximately probably about 2.5 hours. And Ireland itself, you've got the Republic of Ireland, which is really the southern portion. So if you took away the green, kind of, you see Belfast and Derry, that would be Northern Ireland. The rest is the Republic of Ireland. So what you have there is the Republic of Ireland, you're talking, currency is different. So you're talking the euro. And Northern Ireland, which is controlled by the British, operates on the pound sterling, okay, the British pound sterling. So a little bit of differences there. Climate is temperate. There's never really a bad time to travel to Ireland. A lot of people, if they want, what they consider to be the better weather, you're always going to get some rain. So definitely be aware, it's green for a reason. You will get the rain. But probably, July, August, June, July, August is probably when most people travel to Ireland. It is the summertime. It's when it's a little bit busier. I would say from November through November, December, January, February would be the off season, even a little bit part of March, when the crowds might be a little bit less, except for St. Patrick's Week. Of course, that's when people start to come to Ireland. But you might have a little bit rainier weather. Okay, so just be aware of that. But again, as you can see from the slide, it's broken into different regions. So you've got the Wild Atlantic Way coming down, the coast from the north all the way to the south. Beautiful, rugged, wild scenery, absolutely spectacular. You have the Ireland's hidden heartlands, and the kind of like the lime green area there. Again, there's no region that they're all beautiful areas. They all offer something different. You have Ireland's ancient East. You'll hear about that quite a bit, about the ancient stories and the history. That's Kilkenny, the medieval city. You've got Waterford, known to the Viking days. And then, of course, you have Dublin in the purple, which is the capital of the Republic of Ireland. Just a wonderful, fascinating, compact city to get around. And then, of course, you have Northern Ireland, as I mentioned. Belfast is the capital of Northern Ireland, but you have that whole area at the top there of the map. That's the Antrim coast. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. So again, you're certainly, no matter which area you visit, you're in fantastic hands. It's just an amazing little country to visit. And again, it's not just about the landscape. I had mentioned before, it's also the amazing, locals that are there. And that's the beauty of, I think, when you're traveling to any of these destinations, particularly Ireland, you've got, go to the local pubs, talk to the locals. They're just as interested in learning about us as we are for them. But that's, the pubs are their way of life. They bring the families there on a Sunday. You'll just hear some wonderful stories and learn so much there is, but is to learn about the country. Same with Iceland, Italy, the UK, again, talk to the locals. That's the beauty of traveling to these countries and experiencing the destinations.
Could I just check in with you for a second?
Absolutely.
Someone asked me if you haven't shown video yet, I don't think, right? I'm just flipping between screens.
No video yet. I do have a video embedded at the end. I don't know how well you all will hear the video. We always have challenges playing them, but you'll see the scenery.
Okay, because someone messaged me about the video hanging up. I just wanted to double check. It's only slides so far, so
Only
perhaps
slide so far, correct. Yep.
whoever that was might have connectivity issues. Is everyone else okay and able to see and hear okay?
Yep.
Thumbs up? Okay, good. And just Kathy joined a bit late. She said she's been to Ireland twice. So
Yay, thank you, thank you.
okay, thanks. Back over to you.
No worries. Thanks for checking in. I've obviously kissed the Blarney Stone. So if you do travel to Ireland and you go to Blarney Castle, that's where the Blarney Stone is located. And if you kiss it, you get the gift of gab. So apparently I have kissed it many times. So Sheila, just feel free, any of you, to interrupt at any time with any questions. So travel your way. So CIE tours, we do have different ways that you can travel with us. Guided vacations. So that's the guided tours that we have, the 34 different itineraries for Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, Italy, and Iceland that I mentioned earlier. And, you know, our clients really run the gamut. We have, you know, honeymooners traveling with us. We have families traveling with us, couples traveling, solo, single travelers traveling with us. And that's a great way, honestly, if you are a single traveler, to really meet other folks that are like-minded like you. I mean, they probably chose that itinerary for the same reason that you did. And we hear such wonderful stories later on about, you know, the experience that the solo travelers, well, that everybody has had, but particularly the solo travelers, where, you know, have made wonderful friends, and they're making plans to travel to other destinations with those solo travelers. So again, you know, just be aware that we do have, you know, really anyone of all ages traveling with us. So, you know, don't be shy when you're thinking of a guided vacation. One thing about the guided vacations, again, is that everything's included for you. I mean, you have your hotel accommodations, you have your breakfast every day with the exception of the first day of arrival, but you also have some other meals that would also be included. All of the sightseeing is included on the guided vacations. Okay, and these tours range, you know, from 5 days in length on up to 15 days in length. So certainly enough for you to choose from. One thing that many people are asking us is, you know, what's the capacity that you'll be operating in? Because again, we're dealing with, you know, post-COVID, you know, how are things going to operate? How do you handle all the safety protocols? We'll go through some of that at the end. But just to give you an idea, the guided vacations, the motor coaches typically will hold up to 48 or 52 passengers. Now, CIE Tours made a decision a couple of years ago only to sell a maximum capacity of 44 guests on the motor coaches, even though it will hold 48 to, you know, to 52 guests. The reality is, though, that with post-COVID, I would say about 85% of the tours that will operate will be on the small group departures. So that's a maximum of 26 guests. So we did start small group departures a couple of years ago because many people said, I really don't want to travel with larger sizes of groups. So I really don't want to go on tours that have 44 passengers, you know, 36 passengers on average. Do you have anything else? And by listening to all of you, we came out with our small group departures. And that's a maximum capacity of 26, could be an average of 18 people traveling on one given departure date. But just know with post-COVID, the majority of our departures will indeed be capped at no more than 26 guests.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're probably moving more towards the smaller groups than the larger groups after COVID, right?
And we are, and we definitely are, because of the fact that, you know, the mandates right now that we have are, you know, you have to be socially distanced by 2 meters.
Yes.
So again, you know, by capping it at the 26, you don't have somebody right next to you in your seat on the coach, you know, so you're more looking at across the aisleway.
And of course, that's going to be more welcomed once we start traveling again, right? People are going to have the smaller groups.
Absolutely, definitely. I think it will be, for sure. Yeah.
Now, Laura's just typed in, of course, she's been to Ireland. Laura's one of my best travel clients. She's been almost everywhere, I think. But she's only been to the south, and now she has to go to the north. She has a shirt on from Ireland, if you can see her face. And Kathy's noting she was in Dublin in 2017 and traveled to the west coast with the car. And a friend in 2004, she went as well. So you're inspiring their memories, which is great.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. And we welcome you anytime for sure. For
Hi,
sure.
Kathy. Okay, back to you, Liz. Thanks.
Okay. So anyway, so another way to travel with us is via a group. You know, maybe you belong to an organization and you want to work with Sheila or myself on booking a group, a group tour over to Ireland or any of the destinations that we offer. With groups, we consider you to be a minimum of 10 guests. Of course, sky's the limit as far as the number of guests. We can always split you to 2 motor coaches, but 2 ways to do groups with us. One would be on one of our scheduled guided vacation tours. Another would be to customize something for you. So again, just keep that in mind. Maybe you belong to a golf club and you want to do a golf group. Maybe you want to research your genealogy, and we can custom design something to fit whatever itinerary, whatever regions that you need to travel to. So group vacations is another way to travel. Private driver. This has been hugely popular. We incorporated that probably about 5 years ago. Private driver would be for 1 to 9 guests. Anything, 10 or more becomes a small group. But private driver, the beauty of this again is that it's an FIT. We can custom design whatever itinerary that you want, okay? And this is for both, Ireland, UK, as well as Iceland is brand new for a custom private driver in 2021. So again, it's handcrafted itineraries that, you work with Sheila on. She'll work with our private driver department. But again, that's a great way to, to design your own itinerary. And then we also have our independent adventures. So this is something a little bit new for 2021. We've always had our self-drive to Ireland, okay? And that's where basically we're renaming it for 2021 called Traveler's Choice. So that was the old self-drive, go as you please. And this was basically, doing the driving on your own. So we utilize cars. Then you have vouchers for B&Bs or bed and breakfasts, which is a great way really to, to spend a night with the local family. So the B&Bs, it's somebody's home. And they might only have anywhere from 1 to maybe a maximum of 5, bedrooms. But again, it's the beauty of spending time with the local family. Now you could utilize those vouchers and upgrade to hotels, manor homes, or castle stays. I highly recommend adding a castle stay in if you can, because who doesn't want to be treated like royalty? So you could, you can mix and match if you want. You don't have to stay at all B&Bs or all hotels or what have you. You can mix and match. You also have the complimentary GPS in the rental car. So again, that's a wonderful way to really kind of do your own thing, go off the beaten path. We also have our classic itinerary. So this is something. We offered this on a smaller scale in the past, but we're expanding it a little bit broader for 2021. So the classic itineraries will be basically following the coach for any of our 17 guided vacations to Ireland. So, for instance, if you wanted to do Taste of Ireland, okay, which you can do it as a 5-day or a 6-day itinerary. And basically it's having the rental car, you're driving, and you could follow the coach if you wanted to, based on the routing of the itinerary. Beauty is though that you have the hotels confirmed at the end of every day for peace of mind. Okay, so it's a set departure date for a set itinerary on our guided vacation. So it's arriving at the hotel to overnight. You've got breakfast included every day except for the first day. If was a lunch or dinners thrown in onto that particular itinerary, that's included for you as well. Or also what's included is some of the attractions, okay? Not all of the sightseeing, but some of them. So that's a classic itinerary. And that's you either drive or, again, this is brand new for 2021, we can put a driver in there for you. So you could have a driver driving you around on a classic itinerary. So again, this came about just thinking post-COVID, thinking that some people may not want to do a guided vacation, and yet you might want to social distance yourself a little bit more with offering the self-drives or with the driver for the classic itineraries or the traveler's choice. Okay, so those are the 5 different ways that you can experience CIE. Okay, any questions on that? I know it gets a little kind of hairy.
Yeah,
So-
a couple of questions. I'll just pop back here. Not, sorry, I'm not sure where they came in and what you were talking about, but Sandy raised a question that she's interested in maybe doing 2 to 3 weeks in Ireland and then England and Scotland. And wondering if you combine trips like that, and we can do that with you, correct?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Yep, you can definitely combine. Yep, we have a lot of people doing back-to-backs.
And she's asking about solo travel. Liz and I have just recently become acquainted, but I knew her sales rep, Rebecca, I've worked with for a number of years. And I know Rebecca has told me in the past, Liz, that you have had solo supplements that are waived occasionally, but you also try to keep them low if they're not being waived. Is that right?
Correct, absolutely. So it gets a little tricky with the single rooms, just so you know, because the hotels typically within our contracts will only give us, a certain amount per departure dates and so forth. But you're absolutely right. We have at times, I haven't heard of anything yet, and I certainly will alert you when I do. I haven't heard of any single supplements being waived at this time. I'll let you know. But yes, as far as it's not double the price of what a twin, or double occupancy rate would be, thank goodness, because I know that gets tricky. I hate the thought that we even charge these, but they get passed on from the hotels. So, but we do offer still single rooms, obviously. And like I said, I think the single supplement cost is relatively low. It depends on the departure or on the itinerary, I should say. And, again, sometimes it might be, if the cost of a twin room might be, let's just say it's $2,000, a single supplement might be $500, something like that. So it's definitely at a more minimal cost than what I've heard what the cruise lines sometimes charge. So definitely, talk to Sheila if you're interested in booking something. And, if I hear of any single supplements being waived, I'll let you know.
Perfect, thanks. Sandy, I think you typed the same question twice, but if I've missed something, please let me know. I think I got your questions. And Kathy just notes that the itinerary you were talking about, Liz, she said that's the way she went with the car and B&B.
Oh, yes. So I don't know though if the B&Bs, I don't know how they charge with the single. That's a great question. I don't know.
Kathy went
There's
with
two of
another
us.
person, but
My friend.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right. Yeah.
she just
Okay.
sharing her experience of traveling to Ireland. It was another lady asking about the solo. We could look into that if there was something specific.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, again, the self-drives and the B&Bs, I highly recommend, at least throw one B&B overnight in there because again, there are lovely, lovely families that run the B&Bs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, and again, I mentioned on before with the guided vacations as far as the all-in inclusive advantage that CIE does have. So again, what that means is you're looking at the guided vacations, the different itineraries. Whenever we say that we're going to go to, like I said, the Cliffs of Moher, the, Merry Plowboys for dinner, that includes, the dinner plus the entertainment. Those are all included. Your tour directors are not going to sell you those optional excursions. As I said, breakfast every day with the exception of the first day of arrival. That's because different flights are coming in at different times. You could, of course, go into the dining room to purchase breakfast if you wanted to. You always have a welcome drink as well. It's usually the first night that everybody's getting together. That's when you meet the tour director and everybody else that may be, be traveling on that same itinerary with you. Local taxes and hotel service charges are also included. We say one suitcase per person is what we allow you, and that's due to the space underneath the coach, and also what the tour director as well as what the hotels will handle for porterage. So also note too that you know, your suitcase, you really don't touch it. Once you come out of the airport, it's loaded onto the coach. If you're doing a guided vacation, basically it's then transferred up to your hotel room at every hotel that you arrive at. So you don't need to lug that up into your room. And the tipping for that is included in the price. Tipping for any of the included meals, that's included in the price as well. So you don't need to tip the wait staff whenever we include meals. Okay, so basically out-of-pocket expenses would be for, you know, any meals that we don't include. Tipping to the tour director or the local guides. Okay, that's not included within the price as well. Obviously, items of a personal nature aren't included. But for the most part, you know, we're pretty much all inclusive. But I did want to, like I said, make sure that I mentioned this to you and just kind of reinforce that. Documents. This is what you get, folks, when you're booking, whether it be a guided vacation, a self-drive, a private driver, a group with us. CIE Tours, you know, still gives out the documents. You'll receive, you know, the itinerary, all the emergency contact information to leave behind with any family or friends, you know, so they can follow you and know where you are as far as all the hotel information. Our Dublin office 800 number, or not 800 number, but the phone number will be on there for you, the websites. But these are your documents. We give you a backpack. We give you that orange strap you see there is a luggage strap that will go around your suitcase. You also see the adapter there. We also give you that. In that little, it's in between the little pouch with all the documents and also the backpack. It's what's included in that is actually a poncho, because remember I said to you it's green because it rains in Ireland, but you get this no matter what destination you're booking with us. So you also get the luggage tags that you see there that's orange and green. So again, we don't just kind of send e-docs. That's not what we're all about. We do send you the actual documents. One thing I want to note though, for Canadians, we're still trying to figure this out. I keep advocating that we mail these to you. Currently, that's not happening. These are actually, and I think it's got to do with the whole customs issue and whether or not you'll get them or not get them, and, you know, just kind of things getting tied up. So these are actually delivered to the first hotel that you'll be staying in. So that's where you'd be picking them up. The tour director would be handing these out to you as you arrive. Private driver, I think, that being said, we probably do send these to you for private driver as well as self-drive. Okay. Again, I just wanted to show you that we do still believe in documents and you will get these. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to now just kind of go into and highlight a couple of the tours that we do offer. The Ireland South Day Tripper. This was created new for 2020, and unfortunately we stopped all of our tours the middle of March. I think it was March 15th. We just kind of came to a halt. But the Ireland South Day Tripper, I love this itinerary because it's kind of an unpack. You're really unpacking twice, but once, I would say, because what this includes, here you have the map, and basically the map is showing you the numbers you see in the squares there. So the green square that you see with the number 5, that means that the tour is going to start in Adair, and Adair is this quaint little charming village known for its thatched roof cottages. Beautiful, beautiful little town. And you're spending 5 nights here. So basically you're unpacking and then you're going to go off and do sightseeing where you see all the arrows kind of going around and you see the little white dots that you see there, the circles. These are to all of the places that you will be visiting. Okay, and none of these places are, you know, more than an hour and a half's worth of travel time. Okay, so just to give you an idea, you have the beautiful Cliffs of Moher that rise 900 feet from the Atlantic Ocean, just absolutely stunning, definitely a must-see when you're traveling to Ireland. We also have a train experience. So I don't know if you can really make out, but the little train tracks there where you see to the right of the town of Cork, you're basically going to take a train between Cork and Cove. And, you know, just again, another wonderful little towns to visit there. Cove was actually the last port of call for the Titanic. It's a beautiful little town, and there's a wonderful exhibit there, the Titanic exhibit. You get to kind of walk through, you get to hear about the history, you learn about the famine ships. you know, the ships that came over. This was the point of emigration for a lot of people that were leaving Ireland for a better way of life, to Canada, to the US, to Australia. So again, that's kind of a cool little inclusion that we added just with the train experience, because we typically don't include train travel. This also hits upon, you know, when people are traveling to the southwest portion of Ireland, you know, some people will say, well, should I visit Killarney or should I go to Dingle? And usually we only include one or the other on our itineraries, but here we've got both Killarney as well as Dingle. And you're in for a treat because the scenery is just outstanding here. And then we have the Barn area that we travel to, kind of a remote area. You'll see a lot of rocks, you know, a lot of the peat, but within the rocks, sometimes you're seeing the flowers that are growing. So just, again, beautiful, beautiful areas of Ireland. And then we end it with one night in Dublin. So you have the opportunity as well to see Dublin. But this, I think, will be, again, we didn't have the opportunity really to sell it in 2020, but I think it will be a popular itinerary for 2021. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight that for you. And then also kind of one of our longer tours, the Jewels of Ireland. And as you can see, you know, this can be taken as a 14 or 15 day, and that depends on the, you know, whether you're doing 1 or 2 nights ending in Dublin. But again, what's beauty, I love the beauty of this itinerary because it's really covering the whole country of Ireland. You know, you have the Southwest, you have the Connemara region, you have, you know, up in Northern Ireland with the Giant's Causeway, with Belfast. Again, the beauty of the Dingle Peninsula, spending 2 nights there in the southwest corner. A visit to Blarney Castle, I just mentioned that. Definitely go and kiss the Blarney Stone. You know, the medieval castle banquet, which is certainly a wonderful experience to have. The Blasket Center that's located in the Blasket Islands. Basically, life, you know, in 1954, life stopped there, so you get to learn about the traditions and, you know, basically the history there and the culture. Kylemore Abbey, a beautiful inclusion as well. It's run by the Benedictine monks right now, and you get to see some of the public rooms within the castle, as well as the beautiful little church and just the grounds. And if you go during the summer, you get to see the gardens as well. So again, lots of inclusions on this itinerary. And you know, again, just continuing on a little bit more, Donegal Castle, Sleevely Cliffs that are, you know, behind Sheila right there in the background. Titanic Belfast, you know, one of the top attractions rated up in Belfast. Wonderful exhibit to see. Brunaboyne, which are oh my goodness, the tombs of Noth and missing the other one there, I'm sorry. There's 2 of the tombs. We never know which one that we're going to get access into because they're controlled extremely well with how many people that they'll allow in. But again, just this is a beautiful itinerary if you're looking to really experience the entire country of Ireland. So keep that one in mind. And then I wanted to also highlight for you the London Day Tripper, because we do have, you know, also the guided vacation itineraries for the UK. But this one, again, you unpack once, 5 nights in London. That's it. Again, going off to some of the attractions of, you know, you have the rocks at Stonehenge, you know, very, very cool to see. I was just there 2 years ago, and crazy enough, you know how you always get to an attraction and there's so many people that are there with you. Not for me. I ended up having, you know, with my group of people that I took over there, we kind of had the place to ourselves. So that was just fantastic to see. We go to the charming town of Bath. You know, there's the Roman baths that are there and the pump house. Beautiful, beautiful little town. We went to Stratford-upon-Avon, which is the birthplace of William Shakespeare. Windsor Castle, of course, you've got to see Windsor Castle. So again, this is another itinerary to be on the lookout for 2021, just unpacking once. But of course we have, you know, a lot of other itineraries that we have that are more inclusive, you know, traveling, you know, to Wales, going up to Scotland, combination tours as well for the UK. Iceland, another iconic destination to visit. I had the opportunity to visit Iceland just about a year ago, I guess it was. And we offer 2 itineraries to Iceland. This particular one, you know, it covers the Golden Circle. You've got, we're moving around on this. You know, I know some people have done it where they just stay in Reykjavik. But this was a great opportunity to really move around and not have to kind of go travel long distances each day. But again, the wonderful inclusions of the Blue Lagoon. We include dinner there and then we go into the lagoon. Thingvellir National Park, you know, this is where the tectonic plates meet. Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, beautiful, beautiful, spectacular scenery. Yes, really move around and not have to kind of go. Ooh, I'm echoing there, I think. Sorry about that. But again, just a wonderful, wonderful destination to visit with just the beauty. The second itinerary that we offer, it is during the Northern Lights. So it's the Quest for the Northern Lights. So again, depending upon, you know, when you're looking to travel. And then of course, La Dolce Vita. We again have started offering Italy the past couple of years. 2 tours to Italy. This is the longer one, the Taste of Italy with Sorrento. And then just the Taste of Italy, we also have that as an itinerary that does not include Sorrento. But I think it's fairly leisurely paced with, again, you can see 2 nights in each of the iconic cities of Venice, Florence, and Rome, with 3 nights in Sorrento on this particular itinerary. And again, the wonderful inclusions of, you know, of course, we've got, you know, Venice, we have the Doge's Palace, we have, you know, the Orvieto region with the wonderful wines that they have in that area. Michelangelo's David at the Accademia in Florence. We have, when we're in Rome, we'll go and see the Colosseum, the Vatican Museum and Sistine Chapel, a visit to Pompeii, a visit over to the Isle of Capri when we're in Sorrento. So again, just all the wonderful highlights that you always hear about with traveling to Italy. So those in a nutshell are really just kind of just some of the itineraries that I wanted to showcase with you. Any questions on any of those that you might all have?
I don't see any typed in, but we'll leave it at the end for people to come back on if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just reiterating, you know, private driver collection, as I said before, this is an opportunity for you to really, you know, customize or personalize whatever itinerary it is that you want to do. This is offered. So the only destination that we offer that this is not applicable to would be Italy. So we have it for Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, as well as Iceland beginning for 2021. And again, this would be for 1 to 9 guests. And again, it's having a local driver take you around. The only stipulations we have on private driver is that you have to have a minimum of at least 3 consecutive nights. And just also know that the driver, of course, they always have restrictions. So, you know, their day is basically an 8-hour day, okay? But again, the beauty of the private driver is that, you know, you can include as much sightseeing as you want, or as little as you want, because the beauty is that you have the driver taking you around and, you know, they'll give you some guiding as well, the commentary about the destinations, but they'll also give you suggestions and ideas. You know, they get to know you, they're traveling with you, so they can give you ideas and suggestions on, you know, adding to your sightseeing, okay? And again, one thing to note that I didn't mention with the guided vacations, we do have an age limit. So with the guided vacations, we have no children are allowed under the age of 8. So again, private driver might be a good option if you're planning on doing some family travel and you might have younger children, again, you know, under, you know, 7 years old or younger, this might be a good option for you, as well as if anybody has mobility restraints, okay? On the motor coach, you know, again, depending upon, nothing is very If you are traveling with a wheelchair on the guided vacations, it has to be a collapsible wheelchair that will fit under the coach. Also, you should have somebody traveling with you that can assist with taking, you know, the wheelchair out from underneath the coach. The driver will help you, of course, as well. But as far as if you need somebody guiding you with a wheelchair, you should have a traveling companion with you. But also note, again, with mobility restraints, the coach does have at least, you know, 4 steps to get up into the, you know, into the coach itself. So if you have difficulty doing that, maybe a private driver might be better suited for you. So again, just some tips and tricks, I guess, on some of the travel ways that might be best for you. We did have a solo traveler. A couple of them traveled with us, you know, on a private driver. You know, how lucky were they just to have the driver at their, you know, complete disposal and their attention. So just note that if you are a solo traveler and want to take this as an option, you certainly could.
Liz, we're just having a couple of questions. The private driver seems to interest people.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because, again, it has been of great interest. Yes.
But it's questioning about price. But of course, that depends on the season and the stays and what we actually construct, right?
Absolutely, it does. So keep in mind, and that's a great question about the price, because, you know, if you're traveling with another traveling companion, remember, so it's not just the 2 of you, you also have the driver. So they are accompanying you throughout. You know, one thing to note too, though, if you're beginning or ending, you know, let's say if you're doing Ireland, so if you're beginning or ending in Dublin, again, Dublin's so easy to get around on your own. I wouldn't schedule having the private driver come into the picture until you're ready to leave Dublin, okay? Or if Dublin's at the end of your itinerary, you know, they can disappear and you can go off and explore Dublin on your own, because why spend the money to have them, you know, accompany you throughout when you can get around on your own? So that's something that you can discuss with Sheila and our private driver specialist at CIE. Again, you're paying for the driver, you know, incorporating his price as well into the itinerary and the price. Okay, but good question.
So just to repeat, because we've had some people come a bit late, I think you said there are 5 main ways to travel with you, but I'm thinking the private car and driver, the customized, the group trips that you have that you can join, or the self-drive. So what am I forgetting?
So this, no, you are. So the self-drive, I kind of broke that into 2 ways to travel. One was traveler's choice, where you're driving the car, you kind of do your own itinerary. The other was the classic itineraries, which were basically following the following the coach on the guided vacations.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And so if you're doing a group motor coach one, you would have scheduled departures for that. And depending on the season, when you want to go, we could get price quotes for people, depending which trip you wanted to do. And if you want to do self-drive, we could build it from scratch.
Exactly, exactly. And don't forget the groups as well, the group travel as well. We could also customize something. So a group doesn't necessarily have to be on one of the scheduled tours.
Right.
Okay, yep. Sorry about that. That's my dog in the background.
That's okay.
Yes, just showed up. Any other questions?
Those are the ones. I think buses are great in Dublin as well. Someone, Kathy, punched in. And Nora's asking about pricing for the tours in general, not the private drivers. But again, that depends on what you select. And I can even send a couple of, you know, the itineraries that you mentioned, right? The main ones, and just give you an idea, pick a date and just give you an idea of price.
Absolutely. And what I could do also, Sheila, is I could send you the link for the Canadian brochure if you wanted to send that out to those that are joining, or post it on your website or something, so that they could click on it and go in and see the different, you know, itineraries and pricing and all of that.
Perfect.
Great. Great.
Are we at the end of your slides? I'm not sure.
Nope, sorry, I had a few.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yep, I didn't know if there were any more questions, but I can continue on, and I know we're kind of getting close to that time frame, so I can pick up the speed here a little bit.
No, we're good. Go ahead. Thank you.
You're welcome. So again, the independent, we kind of already talked about this already before, but again, remember that the classic itineraries, it's basically 17 of the preset Ireland guided vacations that you can choose from, and you can do it as a self-drive or with a driver, okay? And again, the traveler's choice, as we just spoke about just now also, was really just the old go as you please. And it was you driving your car and really creating whatever itinerary you want to do. I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's kind of flying by the seat of your pants, having the freedom and flexibility to do your own itinerary. And again, utilizing B&Bs, hotels, manor homes, or castle stays. Again, you can mix and match it up if you want, or just stay in one type of accommodation. Totally up to you. So again, the independent adventures are also good for families because again, remember that with the age restriction for the children, if you are taking any young children with you, 8 is the youngest, 8 is the youngest age requirement on the guided vacations. But on independent adventures, private driver, custom groups, you can basically take whatever age range you want. Again, I mentioned group travel, just to kind of reiterate, if you do belong to an organization and want to put your own group together, contact Shayla. Again, you can do groups on a scheduled itinerary or we can customize something. And again, sometimes with customizing, might be the route to go, or definitely I think would be the route to go if you're a golfer and want to do a golf group, or if you're into maybe, health and wellness, maybe you belong to a walking group. You could do something like that and kind of customize and go to Killarney National Park and walk around or hike around, or, go to the Giant's Causeway, do hikes up in that area or so. But again, just kind of planting some seeds as far as different ways you can travel.
And you can customize it like you would have Irish whiskey tours that someone could do. If they wanted to do an Irish knitting tour, we could put something together. Irish literature tour, like any combination, right?
And you are mentioning some that we have already done, trust me. And, and it's fun, you talk about the knitting tours, they're fun to do because what we'll do is we'll match you up, or we'll meet you up with the group. We'll spend an afternoon with tea and, you'll meet other folks that are, doing knitting as well, or we'll take you to some of the, the textile places. And it's just, yeah, we've done these, and especially the whiskey tours are a lot of fun as well. So definitely, consider something like that because, again, it's a blast to do anything off the beaten path.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I wanted to share with you too what we have coming up. Currently, we do have, early booking discounts for 2021. So basically, we have 10% off. For any of our guided vacations, which include the small group departures, again, maximum capacity of 26, and also the 10% discount for the early booking for the classic itineraries with driver. So, keep that in mind. This is valid through December 23rd. Also, what I don't have in here, because of course I just got the announcement with Black Friday coming up, of course, we will have a sale as well. Sheila, I'll grab the flyer and send that off to you, email that off to you, because we have up to 20% off. So it's on certain itineraries. So that flyer will depict what the itineraries are. So again, it kind of ranges 20% off, 15% off, or 10% off.
And I think some of it might be posted on your web already. I just had a note from Nora that she went on your website and it's mentioning solo supplement waived.
So there you go. So see, I wasn't even aware of that yet. So thank you for that, Nora. So those of you who are single, then definitely take a look at that. It will most likely then mention, I would assume, whether it's specific, guided vacations or whatever that we're doing them on.
Yeah, it says 2021 guided coach tour to Ireland or Britain.
Perfect.
But it's only the first 4 solo travelers booked on any of those.
See, so that's because, again, of our contracts. We only get so many single rooms. So, which I'm sad to say, we can always go back to the hotels to request additional rooms, but typically they're pretty strict about only giving us, 4 single rooms. So
it's kind of like a river cruise, right? There would be, depending on the line, the river cruise line, there would be 2 cabins that would be meant for solo passengers. And then if you don't get one of those cabins where they've priced it appropriately for solos, then you have to pay double.
Exactly.
And now it's not double with CIE, but it would be the same thing. It would be the contract negotiation with the hotels.
Exactly. And the beauty to note with CIE is that, trust me, when you go to look at it, when you look at the brochure or the website, you will see that for any given guided vacation, you know, we've got lots of them. So, you know, some of the departures will operate once a week, some will be twice a week. So I would say if you can't go one particular date, look at, you know, if we're not operating on a Monday or those single, you know, that's sold out on a Monday, look at the Wednesday departure, the Thursday departure, whatever we have listed there. So there's certainly lots to choose from in the way of departures. Yep. Well, thank you, Nora, for that good eye. Thank you for that, sharing that information with us. Also note, because I know some of you have mentioned that you've traveled, well, I don't know if you traveled with us or traveled to Ireland already, but if you did travel with CIE in the past, we did implement a past guest discount. And this just came about last year. So, you know, we're trying to reward you as you travel with us. Like I said, we don't offer, you know, worldwide destinations, but we do have, as I mentioned, the countries that we do travel to. If you travel with us in Ireland, maybe you'll travel with us to the UK, Iceland, or Italy. But we are giving you $150 off as a past guest, and that is combinable with any other offers that we might have in the marketplace. Okay, and that's the only time that we do allow you to combine offers. It's the past guest offer with whatever the current offer might be. Okay, and again, with, you know, the pandemic has taught us a lot of things. You know, one being, of course, the nervousness of travelers traveling. So we did come out with our book with confidence. So basically what this is saying to you is that if you do book a tour with us and, you know, if you need to change to another destination, another departure date, another, you know, itinerary, you do have the flexibility to do that. So, you know, it's basically you've got up until 30 days prior to departure to make that change. And, you know, right now we're allowing this through, you know, travel at the end of December of 2022. You know, so just be aware that we do have this now in place. And hopefully that will set your mind at ease a little bit. I know we're all anxious to get out there to travel. I know I am. You know, it's not unusual for me not to be traveling. So I can't wait to get back out there. And I did want to just touch upon as well, just some of the safety precautions. You know, please note that your safety is our #1 priority, you know, when you're traveling with us. So we're constantly monitoring what the countries are doing, what protocols they have in place. We will follow those protocols, obviously. You know, we can't travel anywhere right now. At least that was the latest, I think, that I read. It's, you know, these destinations are still restricted for Canadians as well. Isn't it, Sheila? I don't believe that Iceland maybe has opened up for Canadians.
Yeah, you know, we still have the government recommending that you not travel to, and then the quarantine coming back.
Exactly.
We have cities in lockdown in Toronto right now, so
Correct.
it's not where any of us want it to be right now. But the good news from the vaccine development, there's strong hope that things will be contained and ways to deal with this so we can travel again soon.
Absolutely. And I am staying optimistic on that because, you know, again, travel, we all love to travel. Who doesn't? So it will come back again. But just note, you know, again, when we do resume traveling at CIE Tours, we will follow every safety precaution that's out there. The coaches, again, will be sanitized often if you're traveling on a guided vacation. The airflow comes 100% from the outside. We will schedule. One thing to note with guided vacations that I did not touch upon is that, you know, again, we're stopping for the different attractions that we've included, but note that you're typically not on a coach without stopping for any longer than about an hour and a half. But again, with, you know, when we start to travel again, We may schedule more frequent stops. I mean, we'll stop for a coffee break, a photo opportunity, a restroom break, something of that nature. But we'll stop more often, obviously, you know, so guests can wash their hands, you know, instead of using the hand sanitizer or something like that. Guest rooms, of course, are, you know, we work with all vetted hotels that will, you know, obviously follow protocol to disinfect the rooms thoroughly, the public areas. When visiting attractions, we may have to break out into smaller subgroups. You know, so just note that we will follow, you know, whatever these attractions have planned for. And again, just doing social distancing. So, you know, as we knew travel before, it definitely will change going forward. But again, we will make sure that we adhere to all the safety mandates to keep you all safe. Okay.
It's awesome. Oh, here's our video.
Here's my video. So folks, here's the thing with the videos. As we were saying before, they don't, I think you'll be able to see it. You won't necessarily, it sounded a little tinny to Sheila when I was showing it. So we apologize for that, but it's a beautiful, you'll be able to see the landscape. So just bear with us. It's only about a minute. And then I guess we'll come back for more questions.
Yeah, I don't think the volume's coming through at all, but maybe I can get the link from you after, Liz, and send it.
Definitely.
Audio, I mean. It just shows how beautiful it is. My goodness.
It's just,
Just
that's
cool.
Kyle Moore Abbey in the background.
Yeah.
So definitely I will send you the link for that as well. It was a Tourism Ireland video that they share so much with us. And, you know, it was a poem actually, just basically welcoming people back to the country of Ireland.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll send the link to that video with the proper audio with this recording at the end.
Yep.
So there's a few folks watching on Facebook as well. If you'd like a copy of the link, just send me an email at sheila@lushlife.ca and I'll send you the recording. If that's the end of your presentation, Liz, maybe I could get you to turn off the sharing.
Absolutely.
Bring it back to questions.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Hi, everyone. So good to see your faces.
So a few people have dropped out, but we still have a good number still here. We've run a bit over. So Liz, if you have another 5 minutes or so for questions.
Of course.
Awesome. Liz, thank you very much. This is not Liz's regular gig. She's usually the boss of folks who do these kind of things. So like all of us in the world, we're all dealing with colleagues and employees who have been furloughed. The travel world obviously has been severely hit, but we're all waiting until we can take off. Again, our runway is just a little bit longer, but we will be taking off again soon. So thank you so much, Liz, for jumping in. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. And any questions, Kathy? Oh, you're giving thanks, or do you have a question? She's applauding.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy's been a couple of times, so she knows how beautiful Ireland is. I'll just, so I'll send a recording and a sample of a trip. Is Nora still on? Oh, yes. A sample of a trip, Nora, maybe the couple of ones that Liz showed with I'll just pick a date and grab some pricing to show you. So Liz, just to reiterate again, you can do a bus tour in a group. We can build a group. You can do a self-drive, and we can do anything. And you can have a private car and driver.
You got it. Yep, absolutely.
One? There were 5, right?
And well, and the guided vacations, the scheduled tours.
Oh, okay. Scheduled. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Does anyone have any questions for Liz while she's here?
You guys are good. You're ready to travel, right?
Sorry, I do have a couple in the chat. Let me just check. Someone was asking, do Canadians need a visa to go to Ireland or just a valid Canadian passport? It's just a
Valid.
passport.
Yep,
Right.
valid Canadian passport. Yep.
And interested in October 2021 for Ireland, Northern England, and Scotland. Okay, Sandy, I will follow up with you.
Fantastic.
And Nora just pointed out the solo supplement being waived, and I'll send the link for that as well, ladies, because we have a number of solo travelers here.
Love it.
Awesome. So just check again. Any other questions? And I'll check on Facebook. Nope. Well, with that, I thank you, Liz, for jumping in and sharing your knowledge. Laura, we can see your t-shirt just barely. Is that a picture from your travels? We got you on mute there.
Yeah, it's from going there to Ireland.
Awesome.
Look at you. Beautiful. Love that. Thank you.
And even the pictures from Dublin,
I love
from the
it.
park.
Awesome. And Nora, what do you have in the background? I can't.
Sure.
Oh, that's just my garden.
Oh, well, that's
It's beautiful.
inspiring as I look out at the snow today in Ottawa. Does anyone else have snow? So
Oh,
Helen
yeah.
says, thank you very much. She's never been to Ireland, but it's definitely on her list and really
Yay.
appreciated it.
Thank
Well,
you.
Definitely want to go too.
Awesome. Well, you certainly are, fleshing out the wander list and making sure we all have Ireland at the top of our bucket list for 2021. Thank you so much, Liz. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Sheila. I really appreciate you having me on. And folks, thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
Take
Sheila.
care. Bye.
Thanksgiving.